So look, folks, this movie has been escaping us for a little while because it made its world premiere not that long ago, but finally we got a chance to watch it, folks. So here we go in our review of the new film Black Friday. What's up, folks? Nigerian Zero here. We are back for another movie review. And today, folks, we're going to be reviewing the film Black Friday, which made its world premiere at Fantastic Fest 2021 and will be releasing in theaters and on demand November 19th. It's well fitting because Black Friday, right? But yeah, this is a film we've been wanting to check out. To not our mistake, but there was some issues at Fantastic Fest and we were not able to check it out there. So we've been definitely having this on our radar. We thought maybe we would have to be forced to watch it in theaters, but another opportunity arose and here we are now with our review of it. I'm smiling, she's smiling, so obviously that's telling you something, but could you tell us what this film is about?
Well, folks, I'm just going to give a slight trigger warning. If you have any retail experience at all, and I'm talking about myself here, maybe have a beer before you press play on this one. So this story, it covers a group of retail workers. They're working at a Toys R Us alike during the most hectic day out of all 365 if you work retail, that is Black Friday. And we find out just what happens when a group of retail workers are pressed with the craziest shoppers of all time. Are they zombies? Are they aliens? We don't really know. Not really the point, but strap up.
Folks, this is, to me, this is the reason why Black Friday isn't what it used to be. Like, this was in somebody's big corporate board meeting and they said, we can't have this happening no more. And as an avid Black Friday shopper, I definitely remember skipping out early on Thanksgiving dinner to get in line for whatever's going to be Best Buy, Walmart, whatever it is. And that's because traditionally, in case people didn't remember, Black Friday sales did not start until 12 a.m. So that means you got what? You need to eat dinner at like 3 or 4 and pack all your survival gear and get in front of that line, and you're camping out for hours to get that flat screen TV, whatever the hottest new toy is, or electronic, or whatever it may be, because it is pure chaos. I have witnessed it firsthand. People getting ran over, trampled, police throwing people to the ground. I mean, one year I was with my aunt. I was on a military base one time with my aunt, and we had a cart and she looked away for 1 second and somebody tried to push the cart away. Like, it's serious. So, for all intents and purposes, they say we can't do it this way no more. We got to go to this online news styling where things can start all throughout the day. Things can be purchased online for the same prices and whatever it may be. So that's why, like, even not having retail experience, I know by looking into this film, like, yo, whoever decided that they wanted to make this film, this was like past trauma that they need to express. And like,
I'm gonna say this one came from the heart for sure.
But like, even with all of the real ramifications of this film, I had a good time. And I'll tell you the biggest reason, and Zero loves a good comedy horror, and I'm growing into it more and more. I mean, one of my favorite films this year was Where Was Within, and this really gave me the same vibes. Like, a very charismatic cast, folks that you do have folks in this that you are expecting to be the comedic relief, but then you have folks that you're not expecting and they still bring it. And I think with a very diverse and broad cast, everybody shine. And like, sure, folks, I know if anybody knows me knows that I'm ready to say this, and yes, I'm gonna say it now. I am a Michael Jai White stan, so like, that's why I'm here. But like,
we love Spawn in this house.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. But Bruce Campbell, folks, you know the name, you know him from all of the movies. He was fantastic in this. I love this performance. I love this character. I feel like I got cheated with Michael Jai White taking an early exit in this film.
Unfortunately.
But Bruce held me down, so I'm happy with the casting. I'm happy with the acting, and I love the fact that like this was a very good satirical horror film.
Let's not forget about Devon Sawa, though. I mean, if we're close to home with the horror casting, Bruce Campbell and Devon Sawa, depending on what kind of horror fan you are, it's pulling one of the strings.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was Michael Jai White, just because Spawn and the other.
Yeah.
But I think that besides the hilarious nature of this film, I think it was the star power that really got us in the door first. And I stayed for a plethora of reasons beyond the star power, because I'm not gonna lie, when you have this much star power packed into one movie, you kind of get the idea that this is going to be a cash grab. You know, they're going to pop in, say their lines, and dip.
And be out. Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. But that wasn't the case here. And honestly, Bruce, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
I honestly, casting director and just the overall budget, well done for keeping him on board. Because
But even the supporting characters were all really good. I think it captures like the quirkiness of what your retail team would be like. You know, retail is like such a, I don't want to say welcoming, because it's really not that welcoming, but in terms of like your clients, like, you know, you could be working with people completely different from you and have different backgrounds from you, and sometimes depending on the brew, that could be absolutely hilarious. And I think that was the case here, especially with our supporting characters, which I also did love as well. But let's talk about these zombie things.
Yeah.
Zombies. Or are they zombies?
I mean, more and more we're realizing that humans are just terrible beings. And
yeah, awful. They could have never turned into monsters and it would still be just as traumatizing.
100%. I was almost willing to believe that they weren't anything at first, that they were just, you know, the idea and the perspective of what those type of customers are on Black Friday essentially are these people, are monsters, terrible people, killers, willing to risk it all for whatever reason. And spoiler alert, and this is not spoiler alert to the movie, but spoiler alert to life, that these deals aren't really even deals, and people risk it all like they are. And like, I thought that like before they were really identified as whatever they were, I thought like, yeah, they're just humans on Black Friday.
Yes, it was a metaphor until it wasn't.
Yes, exactly.
Like, and it was holding on to that metaphor. Like, I want to say like all the way up until that ending sequence, our finishing sequence, because although they look like monsters, you could just like, you know, wake up from the dream and that still be like that Karen at your register number 5. Really, I need my layaway items right in now. You know what I'm saying? But practical effects here were really awesome. In the exposition of this movie, before we really get introduced to our characters, and the dynamic of the retail crew, we get like this little gross, I don't want to say orb, but like a nest or something.
Ivan ooze. That's what I call it. Yeah. Ooze. Yeah.
An oozing sack of some sort, which is clearly not CGI. It's clearly in your face and it's practical.
Yeah.
And at that beginning moment, I was like, oh, shoot, I think we might be getting some practical effects here. And that was definitely the case. And it makes all of the difference. I mean, this film is fun. It's a really fun concept. They have really great expressive actors, but the practical effects bring everything together. And I mean, I'm sure that's safe to say for like anything, but it's more fun. And I'm trying to like avoid saying what that ending sequence is until like we wrap it up. But I think that really makes it here. If there weren't any practical effects, I would just say this was, you know, your average horror comedy, but that was really it. They did go above and beyond, and there's no cutting corners here either. There's no like, oh, hidden behind a dark silhouette, spooky lighting, fog. It's like you get to see all the grossness, and go off for a little bit because I love me some zombies. That's my favorite subgenre of horror. And I love how zombies change. And, we have no official definition of what makes a zombie. They just kind of go with whatever the creator thinks is cool and works with the story.
Also a line in the film as well, too, where somebody was like, I think this is how this works. And yes. I was like, exactly. There is no norm. It can be whatever it want to be. Yes.
I think it's safe to say that it is, and I think this is how it works. So let's just roll with it, see how it works. But I think it was really interesting, the evolution of the zombie in this film, because they start off as your typical zombie apocalypse. Man has got bags under his eyes, maybe got the runs, got to go to the bathroom, vomiting. Your typical sickness indicators. And then it just gets weirder and weirder. Then they're zombies, and then they're full-blown monsters, and then they are an entity, which is really, really awesome at the end. And it has this really unique factor of switching zombies up a little bit, but it just makes it that much harder for the team to combat that.
What point was I about to bring up here? Oh yeah, go back to the practical effects. I mean, folks, we got so far away from practical effects that sometimes people appreciate the craft and artistry in order to do so. So when I see them, I'm already extra susceptible to it because of that. But also, too, it's part of the reason why I even got into loving this genre is the fact that people were able to do this type of FS work. And really bring these designs, even imaginations to life. And seeing this, is always a treat to me. And I think it obviously keeps the budget happy. Who knows when this was shot, but if this was shot during the pandemic, because it was a fairly small cast, this is how you make it work, and you're still able to produce a good product. So I agree. I thought it was really good. People may forget because they're so used to CGI, and then you have great CGI, but when you have bad CGI makes good practical also look bad when you start metering down the scale here. So this is good practical effects, and it stands toe to toe to any type of CGI, if you ask me. So I definitely agree when I seen it, both from, like I said, the makeup work and whatnot of the zombies, and then from the little blob that we seen. They did it right. They did it right. I enjoyed that as much. And then also characters that I wasn't really, or actors I wasn't really familiar with. Stephen Peck was another person that I looked up immediately after watching, and I said, I like this performance. Again, with so much star power, no matter how much skill you have or how much time you had, everybody utilized their time to shine. And that's why for a movie that's only like an hour and 20 minutes, they made the best of this. So, my biggest thing too in preparation for this film is that if you love a good comedy horror, that's the first step. I think if you love Werewolf Within and you understand the toning of that, then you will love this. And I also think that this is definitely a good Friday night film. Whether you partake in any alcohol beverages or whatnot, I think that anything that gets your blood rushing a little bit more for this will even make it even better. And that's even to say that even sober or whatever it may be, it's still very enjoyable because the characters will make you feel like you're on a sugar rush.
There are some pretty decent one-liners in there that are still in my head swimming around. I will say that.
Anything else on this?
Okay, well, since we're wrapping up
to the ending, yes, go for it.
I'm just gonna say it. This kaiju, it was a kaiju at the end. It
definitely was.
Y'all, the zombies morphed into a single kaiju.
Be clear. The shoppers, is zombies came together.
I was like, what? I mean, I knew this was some crazy, stupid, we're not following the rules here, but roads. We don't need roads where we're going. Absolutely not. It was crazy. I could not have seen that coming, especially with my knowledge of zombies. They don't do that. I don't think that's how that works, but I'm very excited to see it. And that monster design was just creepy and just gross as hell.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
And very symbolic for what the Saturday after Black Friday looks like. The store is completely on fire, destroyed, and the shoppers have prevailed once again. One store down, one to go. And like I loved how they showed the last shot of it was very fulfilling to everything. That we kind of when you think about the foundation of what this film is trying to, and the message that it's trying to convey, it makes sense that it played out the way it did. So
absolutely,
it's a fun film. When I mentioned Where Was Within, but like also another classic is Dawn of the Dead. I mean, any of these type of films that you love, this is right down your alley, and you will definitely have a lot of fun. Bruce is good. Michael is good. Devon is good. Some of the ladies in this are not some of the ladies. Everybody is good because everybody had time to shine. No one had to go an hour and 30 minutes of performing. So if you have minimum time and you already have a very lengthy resume, sure, you say I could knock out 15 minutes of acting when I'm the focal, and that's where it's good at. That's how you design a movie to make sure that the pacing and the tone stays consistent, because just like a basketball game, folks, when your starting five gets tired, you make sure you prep your bench in order to get off there and perform at the same level, and you do the rotation and you keep going and you win a game afterwards. And that's what this did for me.
Agree.
That's what this did for me. So folks, Black Friday available November 19th on demand, digital, and in theaters. Check it out. Jump in the comments. Let us know your thoughts, your favorite moments, the ones that really made you laugh. Do you even shop Black Friday anymore, folks?
That's what I want to know from the viewers. Share your craziest Black Friday experience.
Yep. And we'll be back for more reviews very soon. Thank you for watching.